Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Doctor Who video as I take a look at some more audio stories done by Big Finish. These are much older stories which have been out for a number of years now, and obviously they sell at a cheaper price, but I picked up quite a few when they had a sale on where they reduced the price even further. So I went through what was up for grabs, made my selection, and I have now listened to them all, and I'm going to recommend the following that are worth keeping an eye on. And the first one I'm going to be recommending is Colin Baker in Whispers of Terror. This works fantastically because it's all to do with audio. It's a political murder mystery and a sentient life form in a sound wave or sound waves. So, as this is an audio story, this works well. Very good. And I'm going to give this one 9 out of 10. Good performance by Colin Baker and Nicola Bryant and the rest of the cast. And overall, the story was good. Could have been a tad shorter, but apart from that, it was a good one. Definitely good. Well worth considering. So, let's move on to my second choice. So, for my second recommendation from Big Finish's Doctor Who cheap stories, the ones that were made long ago. It's Colin Baker again, and it's a sequel to Revelation of the Daleks. And their story is entitled Juggernauts. Very good story, this, for a sequel to the original Colin Baker story. This story obviously features Colin Baker, Bonnie Langford, and Terry Malloy as Davros. So it's a good cast. It's all done very well, actually. It's sort of like an industrial underhandedness sort of thing on the surface, but underneath the surface, well, it's Davros, isn't it? And he's up to no good again. And it's quite intriguing, actually, this story. There are some very good points to it, and it's definitely a story that's well worth considering, in my opinion. I'm going to give Juggernauts, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. It was good, and it's, as I say, well worth considering. So, on that note, let's move straight on to my third recommendation. And I'm going to select one from Peter Davison. And it's coming up right now. And my third recommendation, as I said, goes to Peter Davison from the cheap end of Big Finish's Doctor Who range, which have been out for some years. I keep repeating myself, don't I? Anyway, it goes to Spare Parts, starring Peter Davison and Sarah Sutton. It's a very good story, this. It's set on the last days of Mondas, and the Cybermen are already in being. And it's one of those things the Doctor rather not get involved with, but he does. The only thing about it for me that was a little bit grating was the Cybermen voices and the committee voices, because they're all in monotone. So my advice is, if you're thinking of this one and you get in it, by all means get it, but take a breather when the breaks come up in the story. Don't listen to it all in one go. Take a breather. And I'm going to give Spare Parts, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. It was quite a good story. Very interesting. I like the touch of the humanity part in it, where you encounter a Cybermen where things have not gone right. Let's put it that way. Nice touch. Thought that was quite good. Right, so I'm now going to move on to my fourth and final recommendation. And my fourth one is going to Sylvester McCoy. And that's coming up now. Okay, my final recommendation is coming up, which is Sylvester McCoy. And it's an interesting one. The Doctor is on Earth in Antarctica, and he's been frozen for millions of years. Frozen time. He doesn't have a companion in this particular story, but the story revolves around ice warriors, or war criminal ice warriors to be more precise. Quite a good story, this one. I did like the way it started, having the frozen Doctor discovered. I thought that was a interesting touch, that. Very interesting. And I'm going to give this one 8 out of 10. Now, all 4 of these stories are available on Big Finish website. All 4 are MP3 downloads, and the last time I checked on their site, which was at making the time of this video, they were priced at $2.99. So there we go. There's some recommendation for 4 old Doctor Who stories worth considering. And on that note, I'll catch you in due course. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.